guys, I'm Camille and welcome to another video. So today I wanted to go through my go-to natural glam glowy makeup routine. This has been my go-to routine the last like 2-3 months. It lasts all day, but it still looks really natural. It's good for oily skin, dry skin. If you want to get a look similar to this, just keep on watching this. The first thing we're gonna do is prime. This is the NYX Plump It Back Plumping Serum Primer. I really like NYX primers. My absolute favorite is the grip one, Hydro Grip. Yeah, the NYX Hydro Grip. That one is so good. But this one is great as well. It's not as gripping, but it's like kind of hydrating, which is nice for like a glowy natural look. Next, what I like to do is apply my under eye concealer. So for concealer today, I'm going to use the House Labs concealer and also the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. This is more of like a highlighting shade, and then this is more of like a true under eye concealing shade. I like both of them, and they're both like, well, this one is like medium to full, like it's buildable, and this one is light to medium, buildable as well. So I like to apply a lot, honestly. I'm kind of heavy-handed, and I'll let it sit while I do the rest of my face, and this kind of helps the coverage to go a bit further. I feel like it helps it crease less as well. So I'm starting with the House Labs and then doing the Giorgio Armani afterwards. Now this concealer, I wouldn't wear it on its own. It's like too sheer, but in conjunction with something else, it's really pretty. Now I'm going to prep my brows. I'm using the NYX Brow Glue in the shade Black. This is like my favorite brow product, and I feel like it's pretty affordable as well. This keeps my brows in place pretty much all day, and it adds a little bit of color to them as well, which is really nice. So if you just wanted to do this and no brow pencil, that would totally be fine. Like, it adds a little bit of color to your brows. Yeah, this is at the actual bottom. So I'll do that, and then I'll use like a brow brush like this to comb over the top. Like that. So for under my brows, I use this same brush and we'll use a concealer. I'll put some on my eyelids as well, and then like get a little bit on the edge of this brush. This is a brush from Amazon. I get a lot of my makeup brushes from Amazon. They're affordable and I feel like they work. Okay, yeah, I just use this to like lightly define the underside of my brows. Or like underneath my brows, not underside. As you can see, it's still kind of sharp under there, but I will get like a concealer brush to blend that out. So this is one that I also got off of Amazon. It's really nice because it's like angled but super dense, which is great for like blending out concealers. See that? It just looks like really natural but good. So if all you wanted to do was your brows, like this would be a nice little natural brow routine, and then you could just keep it pushing. Now I will blend out the concealer on my lids. So see how natural that like House Labs concealer is? It's not like super full coverage at all. So it just kind of blends in with your skin, which is nice. If you're going for like a natural, your skin but better kind of look. So now is when I'll do my foundation, like before I start blending out the concealer. And I've had this for a while and recently started using it again. This is the Makeup by Mario foundation, Surreal Skin. This is a very like skin-like foundation. A lot of times I'll wear this without any other makeup on because it's just that good. And so I've been using these airy puffs that I found on like TikTok. So I'll link these below. I feel like it gives a natural blend to your makeup. Kind of similar to a beauty blender, but a little bit different. I don't know. So just evenly distribute that on my face. And I put the least amount on my forehead. I feel like having not a lot of makeup on your forehead helps it look even more natural. Yeah, just blend it out. and I'm not like blending into my concealer. I'm still letting that sit for like maximum coverage. So it looks a bit strange, but you just have to trust the process. Get a little bit on my nose, the sides of my face. And I feel like using this sponge makes it go by really fast. Like it's so quick to blend and blends really seamlessly. Like I feel like there's no harsh lines, which is great. And then a little bit on like my neck, so it kind of matte. See how natural it looks? Like imagine if you were just wearing this by itself. Like it just looks like your skin but better. So I don't know why I've been sleeping on this foundation. It's just been sitting in my drawer for like a year, and I just randomly tried it again the other day and I was like, wait, this is actually really good. So Mario, you deserve your flowers for that one. It looks so natural. And I've just been loving like blending it out with a sponge. I feel like that makes it more natural. Now it's time to blend out your under eye concealer, and when you do this, please have your powder on standby because you just want to set it immediately. I will typically use a foundation powder first with like these little puff triangle things, and then after that I'll use like a loose powder. But I feel like the faster you set it, the better. Just using this same brush that I was using earlier to blend it out. Just try to take my time so it's kind of seamless. I like these dense brushes for blending out concealer, especially in like as opposed to like a sponge. I feel like it gives more coverage and it helps it like blend well without like creasing or anything. Well, I mean, you're probably still bound to experience like creasing, but a little bit less than you might have. Another brush I like to use for that is like this Real Techniques one. It's called like Deluxe Crease. This one's really good for that. What's nice about this like brush set is that it came with three brushes. So this is a nice foundation brush if you're just wanting to like blend out your face. And then this one is what I will use to blend out my concealer if I'm in a rush. Like I don't have time to just be like blending it with this little one. But today we're just gonna use this little one. But any of those are like good options. Just use what you have, but if you don't have, then you can buy, and that's all linked down below. Okay, so that's the first side. And now this side. What are some of your favorite concealers? I go through phases when it comes to concealers. Some of my favorites are like the L'Oreal Infallible. I also really like this House Labs one. The Kosas concealer used to be my jam. I haven't used it in a long time. I'll probably have to try using it again, see if I still like it. But let me know what some of your favorite like medium coverage concealers are that last all day and like don't crease and stuff and have like a good shade range too, so I can check those out. And also let me know if you've tried out this Makeup by Mario foundation, and if so, like what do you think about it? And then I will grab the same sponge I used to blend out the edges, so really seamless. And I'm trying to use like the other side of the sponge as well, just for best practices, but I feel like that looks really seamless. I don't know, what do you think? Just blend out the edges. All right, cool. And then I will immediately grab this powder foundation and triangle and pack it in. I'm even putting some on my eyelid. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I'll try and like have the shades too if you feel like we're like a similar shade. I like to do the solid like powder foundation first and then the loose powder afterwards. Just helps it last a lot longer. So I just put that everywhere I have put my concealer. And then with this translucent powder, I will apply it with a brush to make sure that that is super set and like stays all day. So I'm using this little powder brush from Real Techniques. It is called a setting brush. So just applying a little bit under my eye. If you have dry skin, you might not need to do this step, but I have very oily skin, so the more powder, the better. Here, and like setting my brows a bit. All right. So that's what we're looking like so far. Now we're gonna set the rest of our face with this One Size Ultimate Setting Powder. This is in their shade Dark Deep. They also have a translucent one, but I just want a little bit more coverage. So this is what we're gonna use, and I feel like it works really well with oily skin, so that's great. Just using this powder brush. Where is this from? I think this is from Amazon. Just applying this generously to the rest of my face. On the under eye, I used a little bit of a lighter powder, and then this darker one on the rest of my face, so that there is still some like definition structure, like it's lighter here and then darker on the rest of my face. I feel like this powder also kind of is blurring, which is nice. Let me know if you've tried this powder and what your thoughts on it are. Now that we're done setting the whole face, I'm going to bronze. So I'm going to use this Juvia's Place bronzer. This is really the only bronzer I use. This and like this other Bobbi Brown one. So if you have any like bronzer recommendations, let me know. But I feel like if it's not broken, you don't need to fix it. This is a Sephora Pro Contour brush, which I've really been loving. So I'll go in with this darker one to contour my face. I have a lot of real estate up there, so I'm just contouring a lot. And then also like on the sides. And then I'll use this bigger brush. This is also like, this is a Real Techniques blush brush, but I like to use it for this bronzer shade. And I will basically just go everywhere I was doing contour and put this on top. And this one I'm a lot more like generous with. For blush, I'm going to use my essentially vintage Sephora collection blush. It's pink. I think it's the shade is called Jealousy, which is strange. And then my Amazon blush brush. So I like to kind of put some on the side of my face and then also on like the apples of my cheek. I feel like I'm very generous with blush, but I just like it. So if you're not as excited about blush, definitely just do it to your liking, you know. This is very like personal preference, objective, but I like to put the most on the apples and then a little bit on the side. Since this is a quick and easy like natural look, we're barely gonna do any eyeshadow. I'm just gonna use bronzer. So I'm going to just get any random like fluffy brush, maybe like this one, still using the Juvia's Place bronzer, and just use that as my eyeshadow. This is like a quick and easy look, so we're not putting much effort into the eyeshadow. And I said the bronzer because contour is like a lot more cooler tone, so that might not look as nice on the eyes as like a warm toned bronzer. So just any like fluffy brush. This is also probably from one of my Amazon sets. And it's like no stress. And sometimes I will even like take it down to like fake contour my nose. I don't really contour my nose. So there's that. We're almost done. Let's say you have like a lot of time. I would use this Maybelline Fit Me loose finishing powder under your eyes. There's like a lot of contour and blush and stuff under the eyes, so I just want to reinforce that like light highlighted under eye look. So I'll use this square again, put a little bit on there, and like dab the extra off on my hand, just so it's not like a lot of powder. I'm really trying to make sure I'm getting it into every crevice to make sure that there's no like unnecessary creasing. Putting a little bit in like the middle of my face. Now we're going to do brows. This is the Sephora collection retractable brow pencil. I also really like the LA Girl Shady Slim brow pencil. This is in the shade Blackest Brown. The Sephora one is Granite. So this one's kind of gray and this one's more warm. So I like to use them both sometimes. So just starting with this LA Girl one. And this one's really affordable. I feel like it's around $5, maybe it's less. My mirror is kind of far, so hopefully this looks good. Doing like small light strokes and then brushing it through. Going in with the Sephora one, light strokes. Like to brush the brows over. Sometimes if I feel like my brows have lost a little bit of definition through that process, I'll go in with a concealer underneath again, just for good measure. It helps them to still look like cleaned up. Now let me get what I used to blend out my concealer. So brows are done. Now we're going to do mascara. I'm going to use my favorite one, which is the Fenty Beauty Mascara. I feel like this one is so good. I also really like the Princess Mascara by LA Girls, or like LA Color. That's a really good like drugstore option. What really makes a mascara is like the brush, and this one has a really good brush. So I like to apply my mascara under and then also over. Just trying to be neat, but I already got some on my eyelid, but that's fine. We'll get it off later. So just do that a couple of times until I get the volume and thickness and everything that I want. This makes them look pretty good. And then a little bit on the bottom. Just like wiggling it up a bit and kind of blinking down on it. I definitely got so much mascara on my lids, but it's fine. It's good to let it dry and then flake it off with a Q-tip or something, and then you can put back the bronzer eyeshadow. So the last thing is a lippy, and one lip product I've really been liking is the NYX Fat Oil Lip Drip. It's just a lip oil. I really have been liking this color. The color is called Mist Call, so it's like a natural kind of a sheer berry, which is nice. I'm already almost done. I think that's my only like gripe with this, is that there's barely anything in here, or like it doesn't last a very long time, but whatever. Yeah, it's like a pretty sheer strawberry color. You could wear this with a lip liner. I usually don't, but maybe for the sake of the video I will. This is like a random lip pencil I got from the beauty supply. There's no shade, but it's like a dark brown. Okay, like how cute is that? Just like a berry lip color, which is cute. I've been liking them more. I feel like I usually will just gravitate towards like nude colors, but I don't know, maybe once my frontal lobe closed, I started liking darker colors. So I will put a little bit more of the bronzer on my lids, try and like flake off the mascara. And when you let the mascara dry, it doesn't smudge when you do this, which is good. Setting spray, I'm gonna use this Makeup Forever Mist Fix. It helps all your makeup like blend together, sit well together, and look pretty natural. Put some of that on. And if I have time, I will use this fan to help it all dry. I'm also going to use this Sport Fix Lasting Fixing Spray by Makeup Revolution. This helps it last longer. It doesn't just melt the makeup, but it helps it actually last a while. So. And then I will use this again. I like how glowy and natural it looks. Like obviously I have makeup on, but it is just like a natural glam. At least for me. This is not full coverage or anything crazy. So if you don't like it super dewy, you can definitely put some powder on top. This is like a finishing powder by Rare Beauty, so this is like a skin tone one. I will like put it on the perimeter of my face if I don't want to look like super dewy after all those like setting sprays and stuff. And I will also usually apply a little bit more blush after the setting spray, so it like really pops, which I like. And then you can also apply a little bit of like the loose finishing powder again. If you have oily skin, this will just help you not to look so oily at the beginning of your makeup wearing. Little touch-ups help it look a little bit more fresh instead of lived in, which is nice. Alright, so that is my glowy natural makeup routine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any video requests down below. If you're curious about what products I used or the shades I'm in, if you feel like we're shade twins, all the products linked down below with their shades. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're into beauty, fragrance, Christ-centered lifestyle, and wellness, give this channel a like and a follow. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Alright, bye!